A recent article by Sam Cooper at the Bureau indicates that Indian proxies are funding Canadian politicians at all levels of government. And he claims this information comes from a CSIS report. And this article highlights the fact that the Indian government was trying to influence the Conservative leadership race, essentially buying memberships and trying to support one candidate while suppressing another one. And we do not know which candidate was supported and which one was suppressed. And this article has led some Liberals to some speculation, with Liberal MP Mark Gerritsen pointing out that Conservative MP Michael Cooper insisted on limiting the scope of the inquiry, while also highlighting that Pierre Poilievre and Andrew Scheer refused to let a single member of their caucus participate in a debate earlier this fall on India's involvement in the killing of a Canadian citizen. And if you remember, when the killing first happened, first Pierre Poilievre said that it was a horrible thing, but almost immediately the day after, he started to speak a little bit differently, with some people indicating that this might have something to do with Pierre Poilievre's connection to Stephen Harper and the IDU, the International Democratic Union, which is essentially an organization of right-wing governments from across the world, including Indian Prime Minister Modi, with Harper being the chair of this organization. And here's the thing, regardless of your political view, you should be interested in having a full inquiry into election interference in Canada. Because regardless of whether or not it's coming from America, China, or India, regardless of if they're influencing the Liberal Party or the Conservative Party, we should want all of this exposed. And I think that there is a fear in both the Liberal and the Conservative parties that there might be some foreign interference that they are completely unaware of. Because most foreign interference in parties isn't those foreign governments actively being like, hey, let me support you. It's subterfuge. They're doing it without these people knowing. Like, for example, if the Indian government did try to get Pierre Poilievre elected as the leader of the Conservative Party, it wasn't like the Conservatives knew about that. There's no way Pierre would have known about that. Suspected, maybe, but there's no way that he was complicit in it. And that's why I think so many people are worried about doing a full inquiry. They don't know what they'll find. So we have to be open-minded about this kind of stuff. If an inquiry is done and we find out that somebody bought memberships and tried to support Pierre Poilievre from the Indian government, that isn't an indication that Pierre cheated. It's an indication that the Indian government wants Pierre as the leader of our country, and it's an indication that they found it easy to infiltrate the Conservative Party. And once again, the exact same thing could be happening with the Liberals, we just don't know yet. What's important is getting to the bottom of this and making sure that it doesn't happen again.